Hello and welcome to this video on how to use Poker Aftermath. This is a computer simulation program written by myself, Matt Davis, and I just wanted to thank you for go ahead and downloading this and giving it a try. If you haven't downloaded it yet, make sure that you look at the information below the video, and there should be a link there that will take you to the site where you can download the program. Feel free to share this program with other people. Feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to see other videos on how to use the program. And either from the videos or playing the program, if you have feedback for me, then please send it to pokeraftermath@gmail.com and I'll give that some consideration. So let me go ahead and show you the basics of using the program. When you start it up, this is the screen you'll see. One of the options you have is you could play a full 10 player table, or you can reduce the size of that by sitting players out. So I'll go ahead and do the demo using six-handed play, but it's up to you, anything from heads up to 10 players. So just make those selections. And then if you click on the deal button, it will give you your hands, give everybody their hands, and just kind of kick off the action. When it comes to you, you're just going to use these three buttons to do the main play. So you're either going to fold or call or raise. And I'll just, some straightforward play here. I have a bad hand, 9-5, so I'll just go ahead and fold that. And this player won, and we'll move on to the next hand by pressing deal again. When a player wins with no showdown, it will show you what their cards is. That's not what normally happens in a poker game. They don't have to show you. They would probably just throw it away. But this program is designed to help you learn, and so part of that is just to go ahead and reveal what they had, and you can think about their actions. And then if there's other players in the hand where you're just curious what they had, if you mouse over where it says their player number 3 or player 4 or player 6, it'll show you what cards they folded to. So if you're curious afterwards, you can go looking into that. Alright, and then let's go ahead and look at another hand. And probably a hand I should fold here, but let's say I decided to get aggressive with it and raise. Then I could just click raise, and if I do that, there's a default amount down here, raise to 34, but you can put different amounts if you want. So if you want to raise to say 25, just type that into the text box right here before you click raise, and then this will become the raise amount. So again, if this box is empty, it'll be whatever the default is down here, but if you want to do something different, you can type it in and then click the raise button. And then you can play the hand out then by dealing and seeing the flop. Given that we went a little crazy here with Queen 7 suited, this is not a bad flop for us. We ended up with an open-ended straight draw. So they checked. Again, same idea. This says bet instead of raise just because there's no bet in front of us yet. So we could make a bet right here of size 28. The default is about half of the pot. If you want to bet more or less than that, you can. So we could bet as little as 3, which is the value of the big blind down here, or we could bet as much as 274 because that's what we have in front of us. So I'll just go ahead and make a bet of 38. So I'll type that in and click bet, and that got called. And we'll see the next card, and this is definitely our lucky day as far as this hand goes. Not only did we just make our straight, but we've added a flush draw too. So by the off chance they have a 7 as well, we still have outs to a flush to continue to beat them. So this time I'm just going to use the bet by itself. So what you should see is that we'll bet 66 since I'm not typing anything in. And you look down there, it did say bet of 66, and then we won with no showdown. And we can go see what they had. So they had pocket 2s, and again, we get to have that curiosity the way this program works, so feel free to check into that after any hand if you want to kind of see what was going on and think about the way they played it. Alright, so you get a feel for the main things you can do here. I'm just going to go ahead and show you real quick some other settings you can mess with, and then just a little bit more about gameplay. So this is set when you turn it on to play a 1-3 cash game, so $1, $3 for the small blind and big blind, with everybody starting out with $300 in front of them. So if you want to do something different, you can. Let's say that we wanted to play a game where the big blind was 10. Then you can type the 10 in the text box, come over here to select options, and set the big blind, and it'll automatically make the small blind half of that, so this will be a 5-10 game. If for some reason your big blind or small blind was going to be 3, you could type that in and then select the small blind. Always do the big blind first because it'll automatically change the small blind to half of that, and then if you want something different you can change that afterwards. And then if we were going to be playing with a $10 big blind, then a stack size of 300 wouldn't be very much. So let's say you wanted everybody to have 1,000. Then you can type the 1,000 into the text box. For the select players, select all players, and then select set stack size, and now you'll notice everybody's chip stack is 1,000 around the table. If you want it to be different for different players, you can do that too. Let's say that you know this player is starting out with $450. You can type 450, and you could select their player number and set stack size, but you can also just go double click on their stack, and that's a quick way to change it. So that shows you how to adjust the blinds and also to adjust the amount of chips that people have. Alright, so now we're playing kind of a different level game. Let's go ahead and deal out a hand. Just to show you all the different things. This time there's a raise. Let's just go ahead and call. So hit the C and then deal to see the flop. We get a gut shot here. There's an ace in front of us, and we'll have the option here. Let's see what they do. So he bets. We could call with our gut shot. There's a flush draw possibility. Wouldn't be horrible to call. I'm going to go ahead and fold. There's a button I think I haven't shown you yet, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Let's see what happens over here. They folded 2. This person had 7s. So, you know, like a raise might have won it for us, but at least we get to see afterwards what they had. Let me show you another one. I'll go ahead and raise this. I'll just go with the standard raise this time just to make it go a little faster. I got re-raised. I probably should go ahead and fold here. You could call. We're in position. Not going to worry about strategy too much. It's just showing you the features. So let me just go ahead and click on fold. And good. That's what I was hoping would happen. This player called, but we're out of it. So when you folded, you have two things that you could do. You could click deal and just watch this play out and try and figure out what these players have. But if it doesn't interest you to watch play when you're not involved, I would suggest clicking the skip button just to save time. So if you click skip, what will happen is it'll treat it as if these two players just checked it down the rest of the way. So it'll deal out the cards, no more betting will occur, and then whoever won will get the money. So the ace queen beats the ace 10, so they get the 260 that was there. But it just speeds it up so you don't have to wait for all the processing of the hand analysis and them making their decisions and bets and all that sort of stuff. So I would recommend skip a lot. It can be useful to watch those other hands, but it's nice sometimes just to focus on the hand you're playing, and so skip will allow you to move past. And then notice that we had king jack, by the way, so if we wanted to have some regret, we would have flopped top 2 pair there and won that hand. Alright, let me go ahead and show you another one. Terrible hand for us, so we fold. And there's a couple players involved. Again, if you're interested, go ahead and keep clicking deal and watch the hand play out. But if you just want to move to the next hand you're playing in, click the skip button. So when I play this, I use the skip button a lot. Sometimes if a hand seems interesting, like there's a raise and a re-raise involved, which actually did happen here, sometimes I'll watch that play out just because I want to see if I can figure out what's going on in a hand that has a lot of action in it. But there's other times I just want to practice playing a lot of hands, and I'll skip through hands like that. So skip button is your friend. It'll allow you to see more hands quickly. Alright, so continuing on, there's just one other feature that I mainly want to show you. So let me go ahead and deal out a hand, and I'll call on this one, and we'll see the flop. So again, this processing takes a little bit of time. The more players, the more time it takes. It's just kind of establishing all their ability to think, and it has a lot of possibilities to look at, so it just takes a few seconds, depends on how fast your computer is. And then let's just go ahead and fold, and the hand's over. But one of the things I want you to see is that when a hand is over, if there was something like you're trying to remember how the hand went, if you mouse over the dealer button, it'll show you the hand history. A lot of the numbers in here have to do with helping me debug the program, but you can see the basics of what happened, that the player decision was a 0, which would be a fold. Let's see the other player decisions. 2 is an aggressive act, so that was a raise. and then when it came to us, we called. So that was a 1. So you can just see what the basic actions were. So if you want to remember who did what in what order in a hand, you can scroll through and do that. If instead of this hand, you're actually interested in the last hand, then click on the dealer button, and when you do that, it'll show you the action from last hand. So that's the same idea. So you might not use that too often, but if you ever just want to think back about a hand, it's nice to know that it's there. As far as all the other things that are going on with the graph and with these screens, that's more advanced play and advanced hand reading and hand analysis, and I will do videos on how to take advantage of that, and you can see that in some of the other videos on this page. But I think that's pretty much covering all the basics of what you need to play. And so I hope you give it a try. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you send me some feedback to pokeraftermath@gmail.com. And I do hope that you subscribe to see more videos and that you share the program with other people you know that you think can benefit from it and that might be interested. All right. Thanks for giving a listen and a watch to this.